Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Maulana Imran Mubarak. Here I'm going to read some text because instruction have give us some obligation to read it. And here I'm from four group, and here I'm going to read text number 4. Okay, let's begin. Indonesia calls for international support to resolve Israel-Palestine crisis. Indonesia has reiterated its call for international leader support to end violence during and ahead of international forums that seek to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. Indonesia strongly condemned Israel attacks, which have resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives, including women and children. Israel aggressions must be put a stop. President Joko Widodo said on Twitter on Sunday, Jokowi has been urging the United Nations Security Council, which has due to meet on Sunday, to take measures against what they describe as repeated violence carried out by Israel, saying on Monday that Indonesia would continue to stand with the people of Palestine. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi attended an emergency meeting of the Organization Islamic Cooperation (OIC) on Sunday evening, in which she strived to push the OIC to have a strong stand on ending the violence. We are focusing on gaining international support so we can put hook pressure on Israel to stop the violence. Abdul Qadir Jailani, Director General for Asia Pacific and Africa, who accompanied Retno at the OIC meeting, to the Jakarta Post on Sunday. Thank you. So here I'm going to explain what phonetic transcriptions. So here I was take for the first paragraph. It's about Indonesia has rated its call for international leaders support to the end violence during and ahead of international forums that seek to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. So here the first one is it's about international. So that I'm going to explain about where a phonetic symbol about it. This I have read it here. The first word that is international. Yes, I think this is a very not very clear. So here international, where the first word or in the phonetic symbol explained about the first explanations, and the second one is leader, where leader that is the, yes, the in phonetic transcriptions, and the second one is violence, where there is some the differences between I'm going to continue first. Violence, and also the second one is forum. So between two word there are some the differences like of and of, whereas in the violence I mean this is of, and the forums its mean is of. So difference between vowel and voiceless I mean. And the second and last one is I have take one of word that is conflict, where in the phonetic symbol there is k, yeah, conflict, not conflict but conflict. Only that I can explain tonight. For about phonetic transcriptions, I are taking five word that is international in the t, and the second one is leader in the d, and the third one is violence in the of, and the third and the fourth one is about forums in the of, and the last one is conflict in the conflict I mean. Perhaps just it. I'm so sorry if I have many mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Wilda Metalia, and here I'm from TBIA IAIN Madura. I'm going to read some facts. Number 4. Indonesia calls international support to resolve Israel-Palestine crisis. Indonesia has reiterated its call for international leaders' support to end violence during and ahead of international forums that seek to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. Indonesia strongly condemns Israel's attack, which have resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives, including women and children. Israel aggressions must be put to a stop, President Joko Widodo said on Twitter on Saturday. Jokowi has been urging the United Nations Security Council, which was due to meet on Sunday, to take measures against what he described as repeat violations carried out by Israel, saying on Monday that Indonesia would continue to stand with the people of Palestine. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi attended an emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC) on Sunday evening, in which she tried to push the OIC to have a stronger stance on ending the violence. We are focusing on gaining international support so we can put pressure on Israel to stop the violence. Abdul Qadir Jailani, Director General for Asia Pacific and Africa, who accompanied Retno at the OIC meeting, told the Jakarta Post on Sunday. Okay, thank you. So here I'm going to explain about phonetic transcription that I was take for the third paragraph. Indonesia strongly condemns Israel's attack, which have resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives, including women and children. Israel's aggression must be put to a stop, President Joko Widodo said on Twitter on Saturday. So, the first I will explain the phonetic transcription president in the text p. The phonetic symbol president is p. And then next attack in the th, of in the f, and Saturday in the d. Okay, maybe enough from me. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Oke, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Syafi'i. I'm from TBA. Indonesia calls for international support to resolve Israel-Palestine crisis. Indonesia has related its call for international leaders support to end violence during and ahead to international forums that seek to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. Indonesia strongly condemns Israel attack, which have resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives, including women and children. Israel aggression must be put to a stop, President Joko Widodo said on Twitter on Saturday. Jokowi has been urging the United Nations Security Council, which was to meet on Sunday, to make me rushes against what the described as repeated violence carried out by Israel, saying on Monday that Indonesia would continue to stand with the people of Palestine. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi attended an emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation on Sunday evening, in which they tried to push to urge to have a stronger stance on ending the violence. We're focusing on gaining international support so we can put hard pressure on Israel to stop the violence. Abdul Qadir Jailani, Director General for Asia Pacific and Africa, who accompanied Retno at the OIC meeting, told the Jakarta Post one Sunday. And I take forward phonetic transcription, urging ch, take, t, people, p, cancel, k. I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ani Hudin Maula. I'm from TBIA class and the fourth group of pronunciation. And now I will read the text which has delivered by my lecturer in pronunciation. Indonesia calls for international support to resolve Israel-Palestine crisis. Indonesia has reiterated its call for international leaders' support to end violence during and ahead of international forums that seek to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Indonesia strongly condemns Israel's attacks, which have resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives, including women and children. Israel's aggression must be put to stop. President Jokowi Widodo said on Twitter on Saturday. Jokowi has been urging the United Nations Security Council, which was due to meet on Sunday, to take measures against what he described and repeated violations carried out by Israel, saying on Monday that Indonesia would continue to stand with the people of Palestine. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi attended an emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC) on Sunday evening, in which she tried to push the OIC to have a stronger stance on ending the violence. We are focusing on gaining international support so we can put hard pressure on Israel to stop the violence. Abdul Qadir Jailani, Director General for Asia Pacific and Africa, who accompanied Petro at the OIC meeting, told the Jakarta Post on Sunday. Okay, I will read the fourth paragraph of the text. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi attended an emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC) on Sunday evening, in which she stronger stance on ending the violence. We are focusing on gaining international support so we can put hard pressure on Israel to stop the violence. Abdul Qadir Jailani, Director General for Asia Pacific and Africa, who accompanied Retno at the OIC meeting, told the Jakarta Post on Sunday. Okay, I will explain about the phonetic transcription in the fourth paragraph. Cooperation is k, foreign f, stance t, and general j. Okay, thank you. Maybe enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.